then she really confused me when she said she would do it all again and only with him. Like, it's like, what? Why would you do this again if he made you feel so bad about yourself?
Back up on my bullshit, back up on the scene. Done dealing with you, don't know how to deal with me. Done fucking with you, don't know how to love me.
Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new. Hey girl, hey. So today we are going to be reviewing the Love is Blind Season 3 reunion. It's reunion time, baby. So let's get into it. Before we get into the video though, you know what I'm about to say. I need you to give the video a thumbs up and I need you to subscribe to the channel. Heavy on the subscribe to the channel. Please do me that favor and hit that subscribe button right now and then give the video a thumbs up and we can get into it. Okay, so it's reunion time, baby. And let me just tell you, everybody looked nice. Everybody looked nice. Zanab looked breathtaking. I love the highlights and the ombre or whatever that is. It looks beautiful on her. She looked stunning, okay? Absolutely, positively stunning. Beautiful, okay? But I died. Excuse me? I died when they asked Alexa about her like never wearing an outfit twice and her saying like basically she returned her clothes after she wear them. I died. That was so funny because like she comes from money but she still returns her clothes after she wears them, and I just thought that was hilarious because you know we like Alexa. Alexa is our girl, okay? We really like Alexa. So that was funny though. But she also says that like basically Brennan can't really have much closet space. And I feel like most men understand that. Like they understand that like they have to take the smaller closet or the smaller portion of the closet because most women have a lot of clothes and shoes and all of that stuff and they need a lot of closet space. And these apartments and even houses be stingy with the closet space. Okay, they be stingy with it. So shouts out to Brennan for understanding the assignment that you have to take this, whatever is left over. But then they cut straight to the pool party. Okay, they asked about the pool party. They want to talk about the pool party and the whole interaction with Cole and Colleen. And Cole just looked very shamed. Like this whole reunion, he just looked very shameful this whole reunion. But I also felt like Colleen looked a little shameful as well, and I could tell that she felt really bad for the part that she played in that whole like pool party scene. And I love to see the girls like getting along and being like, you know, I love you, I'm sorry, I love you too, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? That was really nice to see. Can I just have a little sidebar real quick? Bartise looked a mess. A mess. But again, you know, I don't want to be like going in on somebody's appearance, but like just it was a no from me. Anyways, Brennan chimes in and just says that like he does not like the way that Cole has treated Zanab, and I guess that they've experienced him mistreating her or doing whatever it is that he was doing to her off camera as well as what we were able to see. So he just spoke up in that moment, and it's nothing like a stand-up man that's going to correct another man or let another man know that he's wrong in something that he's done, because so often we get the whole like that ain't my business, I'm gonna stay in my lane kind of a thing, where I feel like men should correct other men. If you see a man disrespecting a woman, whether you know her or not, I feel like you should say something. So that was nice of Brennan. So then we get into SK and Raven, and SK says that he didn't know what he was going to say until that moment. And then Raven says that she believes that he didn't know because it felt very like in the moment to her as well. When he said, I do not, but I was just like, and then didn't Vanessa say that she said I do and then he said I don't, but I ain't see Raven say I do. So I don't know, did she make that up? I think she might have made that up, but I don't know if I believe that, because I don't know, but it's not for me to believe. Raven says that she believes it and they are good now. They are dating each other. They have a long distance relationship, but they are making it work. And that was nice to see, because I do feel like she really started to develop real feelings for him. I felt that on the wedding day. I felt like she was going to say yes. I felt like she was really growing feelings for him and falling in love with him and stuff. So that was like nice to see that they are still trying to like figure things out, because I do feel like they have something there. So that was nice. So then they bring up basically Bartise thirsting over Raven, and I was like, they should have showed the pool scene, because I feel like the pool scene was very similar to Cole and Colleen's pool scene, except Raven shut him down. But he was doing the same thing, telling her how much of a baddie she is and all of that stuff, but Raven shut it down. But it just was like, I'm just so over Bartise. And I feel like it was also in this reunion where Nancy said something like she feels like he was brutally honest with her, because everything that he has said about her, he also said to Nancy that he said those things and that he felt those things. But it's like he was not brutally honest, because he strung you along all this time. That's not being brutally honest. Being brutally honest with somebody is to tell them the truth, period. Like, not just in moments where and I feel like he just really wanted to talk about her. So it was more so about him wanting to talk about Raven in that moment than him wanting to be honest with Nancy. She was heavy on his brain. He wanted to talk about her. But I just felt like, no, he's not brutally honest, because she like commended him for that or something. And it's like, did you forget that he strung you along all this time and he knew he was not going to marry you? He knew he didn't want to marry you. Please don't give him too much credit. But Bartise apologizes for what he said, but not how he felt. And then SK gives his input. And I was feeling the same way, because SK, like, I had a conversation with you, the guys, you know what I'm saying? And then you go back to your fiance, and then you are talking about what we talked about and using it in a way to make it seem like we aren't like connected or into each other. So it just was like, yeah, he just throw the whole man away, please. Thanks. No, because low-key, I feel like Nancy was like reading Bartise too. Like, she was like, she gave him that little, like, she wanted to commend him or whatever she said. But I feel like she was also kind of like reading him subtly throughout this reunion as well. And he deserved it. Did. So then we get like them talking about Matt and Colleen and them not living together yet. And I feel like, to each their own. If two people get married and they never want to live together, that's fine. Because as I always say, it is your marriage and you can design it however you choose. So even if they never wanted to live together, that is completely okay. But for right now, it just didn't fit financially. And I felt Colleen when she said, like, I got roommates, and if I would have just dipped on them, I would have been, really like messing them up financially. And she didn't want to do that. And it's fine. They are, I'm sure what they said, they are staying like at one place or another multiple days out the week together. So it's fine. But then we also get Alexa saying that her and Brennan's problems basically came once they started to live together, because they didn't really have any like issues or anything prior to them like getting into the real world. And then once they lived together, it started to kind of get a little crazy. And I feel like for anybody, once you start to live with somebody and adjust to having somebody in your space all the time, it's an adjustment. Period. No matter who that person is. But I feel like it is definitely an adjustment. And for me, listen, don't tell nobody I told you this. But for me, I'm an advocate for living together before you get married. Don't you throw no tomatoes at me, girl. I don't care what nobody say. For me, that's what I would need to do. That's what I did with my husband. And I feel like you really get to know somebody for real when you live with them. And that's where you decide, do I want to deal with you forever or not? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like for me, that's just the way it gotta be. I'm not about to marry you before I live with you and know how you manage your money, know how you are through and through. I got to know you first. I'm not trying to like marry you and make a lifelong commitment and I don't feel like I know you through and through. That's just me though. That's just me. To each their own. We're all allowed to feel how we feel. Okay, move moving on. So we find out that they invited Andrew to the reunion. He decided not to come, but it's like, who cares? Like, did we really care? Did we really need to hear anything from Andrew? We didn't. And then we also find out that SK and Raven did not have sex until after their wedding day. And it's like, okay. So then we get them asking about and talking about Nancy and Bartise's wedding date. And we find out that Bartise made a promise to Nancy not to blindside her, but he blindsided her anyway. And I feel like, again, I had said before, I think that's why her family was so upset, because he probably reassured her that he wouldn't blindside her, that he wanted to marry her. So she reassured her family that he wouldn't blindside her and that he wanted to marry her. So when he did, everybody's pissed. You know what I'm saying? And then she was saying, like, you know, in that moment, they were fighting the fight that she couldn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like in that moment, she definitely, like, I'm sure was in her feelings, but I feel like she also wanted to have a mature conversation with him. You know, we also find out that a couple of days after their wedding day, Bartise was frolicking it up or gallivanting on a boat or chilling with a tall blonde girl. And then he tried to say, I don't want to talk about my sex life. I don't feel comfortable talking about my sex life with y'all. And it's like, Mr. Sir, who is talking about your sex life? Like, he tried to do that flip the script thing, but it's like, you're among adults, intelligent ones who ain't falling for that okie doke. Spit it out. Like, what was you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, please. He just kills me thinking that he's smarter than everybody in the room and he going to be able to weasel his way out of talking about something, like, or taking ownership for something. Like, please. Then he tells him that's the way that he was coping. And it's like, that just brings me back to it all. You did not want to marry this girl, and you probably were never really in love with her. Okay? Because to me, it just don't add up. Now, I understand they say to get over somebody, you got to get under somebody else. And some people adopt that. And I feel like in certain situations, it might be okay. But for me, with him and all that he's done and his behaviors and stuff, it's giving you never really were into her after the pods. That's what it's given. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about that really like took place in his reunion was this whole Cole and Zenab thing, right? So we found out that a lot of things happened off camera that we didn't get to see, where she felt degraded and disrespected, right? And I do feel like, and she said that he has shattered her self-confidence. And I do feel like Zanab was already probably insecure, but getting with a man that makes you feel bad about yourself will not help your confidence. So it only further like diminished her confidence, right? Because we saw Cole and what we did get to see, the things that he was saying and how he was really just trying to make it seem like he was not attracted to her, like she was not attractive to him. But it's like, she is a beautiful woman. So, and then him constantly lusting and thirsting over a woman that has a completely different body type. You know what I'm saying? That would make you feel away. And then when she was saying certain things that he did, and then he was saying that she was lying, I was like, wait, what's happening? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was very confused on like who was lying and who was telling the truth, because it just was, you know, word against word at that point. But I was very confused, one, when Zanab said at the end that if she had to do it all over again, she would do it the same way and she would only do it with him. And it's like, because he posed the question, like, if I did all of these horrible things to you, why did you stay with me for so long? And it's like, valid question, but I feel like I have two things, because on one hand, a lot of women stay with men who mistreat them and do them wrong and cheat on them when they shouldn't, and I think that's a thing of self-worth. But then it's also like, why would you stay with somebody who is mistreating you and making you feel bad about yourself? Like, that's just self-torture at that point, you know what I'm saying? But then she really confused me when she said she would do it all again and only with him. Like, it's like, what? Why would you do this again if he made you feel so bad about yourself? If he mistreated you so badly and made you feel awful and shattered your self-confidence, why in the hell would you do it all again and with him? That doesn't make any sense. And then she says that she doesn't feel like he's a bad guy, but he treated her badly. So it's like, why would you do it all again with somebody that treated you badly? That doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense, Zanab. Make it make sense. That doesn't make any sense. Especially knowing all that you know now, feeling how you felt. You would do it again? What? So she's a glutton for punishment, I see. But then also this whole tangerine thing, I feel like cause if he was really feeling like, don't eat that cause you are fat and overweight and I don't want you to eat nothing ever, then I feel like her eating whatever she was eating before that, he would have said something if it was given that type of energy, because they were both eating something out of a bowl and then she went and ate the tangerines. So I'm just like, I honestly feel like he was not trying to say like, you don't need to eat that because you're overweight. Like, I felt like he was just saying, we are going to dinner and we got a whole big old thing planned and I don't want you to ruin your appetite, or because you know how it be sometimes when you don't eat and then you eat something, it could completely change your taste buds, or you could get super full quickly or whatever. I feel like maybe he was saying it from that place of like, we going out, don't eat too much because you gotta, you know what I'm saying, make room for this dinner that's coming up. Let's not make it seem like we don't all do that. A lot of us do that. Like, I want to, like on Thanksgiving, for example, a lot of people don't eat all day until they going to get to where they going so they could stuff their face. So I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but to me, when they showed the clip at the end, it didn't seem like he was saying it from a standpoint of like, you're overweight, don't eat anything else. It didn't seem like that to me. But I don't know. Maybe she took it like that, and I'm not going to take that away from her if that's how she took it. But watching it, it didn't really seem like he meant it in that type of way. But Cole apologizes to her, and he cries and breaks down. But I just really was confused with Zanab saying that she would do it all again and with him. It just was like, what? But yeah, y'all, let me know what y'all thought of this reunion down in the comments. I want to know. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are not subscribed, and I will catch you in the next one. I'm about to get back into reviewing The Real Housewives of Potomac and Love and Marriage Huntsville. I've been watching, but I just haven't really been reviewing it because it come on the weekend. Well, especially Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's really hard for me to review that because by the time Monday come, I don't think nobody's checking for it. But I'm gonna just put the videos out anyway, and it is what it is. But yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.